Inside the courtroom in Sanford, Florida. I'm joined now by a team of legal experts as we await the announcement of this verdict, and we are awaiting the judge and the jury to come in and announce the verdict. What they could decide upon here: second-degree murder, manslaughter. Here comes the judge. We're going to listen in.
Please be seated. We're back on the record.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's go ahead and bring him in. And I will remind everybody in the courtroom that there's to be no outbursts upon the reading of the verdict or afterwards. Please be seated. Members of the jury, have you reached a verdict? If you'll please fold the verdict form and hand it to Deputy Jarvis. Thank you. Okay, if you'll please publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 18th Judicial Circuit in and for Seminole County, Florida, State of Florida versus George Zimmerman. Verdict: we the jury find George Zimmerman not guilty. So say we all four-person.
Does either side want to poll the jury?
We would, Your Honor.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, I'm sorry. As your juror number is being called, please answer whether this is your verdict.
Juror B 29, is this your verdict? Yes. Juror B 76, is this your verdict? Yes. Juror B 37, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror B 51, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror E 6, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror E 40, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ladies, I wish to thank you for your time and consideration of this case. I also wish to advise you of some very special privileges enjoyed by jurors. No juror could ever be required to talk about the discussions that occurred in the jury room except by court order. For many centuries, our society has relied upon juries for consideration of difficult cases. We have recognized for hundreds of years that a jury's deliberations, discussions, and votes should remain their private affair as long as they wish it. Therefore, the law gives you a unique privilege not to speak about the jury's work. Although you are at liberty to speak with anyone about your deliberations, you are also at liberty to refuse to speak to anyone. A request to discuss either your verdict or your deliberations may come from those who are simply curious, from those who might seek to find fault with you, from the media, from the attorneys, or elsewhere. It will be up to you to decide whether to preserve your privacy as a juror. Is there anything we need to take up before the jury before they're sent back to the jury room to be discharged?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ladies, thank you very much. You will be taken back to the jury room to be discharged. Seated. Mr. Zimmerman, I have signed the judgment that confirms the jury's verdict. Your bond will be released. Your GPS monitor will be cut off when you exit the courtroom over here, and you have no further business with the court. Okay, thank you. Is there anything else this court needs to take up before we recess for this case?
No, Your Honor.
Adjourn for this
Thank you for your
case.
time, Judge.
Thank you all very much. Court is, the evidence will be released. The evidence will be released.
And there you heard it, live here on CNN, the all-woman jury coming back saying George Zimmerman not guilty in the death of teenager Trayvon Martin. There you see a smile on the face of George Zimmerman. Obviously his defense team very happy, and when they showed the prosecution obviously not happy with this verdict. There is George Zimmerman's wife with tears in her eyes, obviously tears of relief. His dad and his mom also in the courtroom. His mom with a smile on her face. The first time I have seen her smile the entire time, actually, since this has happened. The dad, obviously, very relieved. Trayvon Martin's parents, we're told, not in the courtroom, And there is a smiling George Zimmerman, obviously very happy. The judge telling him, we're going to release your monitor. You have no more business with this courtroom. You are free to go. Very big smiles of relief on the face of George Zimmerman's family. And of course, George Zimmerman now speaking to Mark O'Mara, his defense team, and also to Don West, also part of his defense team. And we're going to stay with these pictures just a little bit longer until George Zimmerman and the folks leave the courtroom here. But this is very interesting to watch. There has been so much anticipation and so much attention to this case, and now the reaction. How will America react? What will the families have to say on both sides as we look at these pictures inside the courtroom of George Zimmerman's loved ones? David Mattingly, I hate to leave these pictures, but David Mattingly is standing by outside the Seminole County Courthouse where demonstrators have been gathering here all evening. People are extremely emotional. David, take us there.
John, the word about the acquittal made its way through the crowd very slowly. People only now coming to grips with what happened in there. We're seeing some people reacting very emotionally, some with anger, some with disbelief. But there are a lot of people here who are just standing in stunned silence. There was a brief period where we heard a chant of no justice, no peace. But since that time, there has been just individuals walking around expressing their opinion very loudly, just as this man is right over here. People attracting crowds around individuals right now as they express their opinion. I want to talk to one person here. Sir, why was it important for you to be out here tonight? I noticed you brought your son.
I wanted to be a part of a historical event. You know, I know that there has been just so much attention to the case, and you know, we just wanted to be here to support the Martin family and hope for justice.
Do you believe justice was served tonight?
I believe that there's a family whose heart is broken, who probably feels that once again the system has failed them. On the other hand, you know, we've been praying for both families, that because we know that it has been just a hard time for everybody that's been involved. But as far as justice, personally, I think that the system failed the Martin family.
You brought your son with you tonight. Why was it important for you to do that?
Because I wanted my son to understand just what happened. He had questions. They had been talking about this with some of his friends even last year at school. And, you know, and I'm a father. I have a son who's African American, and you know, I could just imagine what Trayvon Martin's father
Can I ask you a
feels
question?
like. Yes, you can.
What do you think about all this?
I think that they did the right thing. I mean, I think that he should have went to jail.
Why was this case important to you?
Because I wanted I wanted to be a part of I wanted to be a part of this, and I wanted justice.
My Twitter feed is
Well,
frozen.
thank you very much. Thanks for your thoughts tonight. And Don, that sort of crystallized what a lot of we've been hearing tonight. So many people here bringing their children with them, making this a family event tonight, and so many people now just milling about in disappointment. There are a great deal of many people here who were seeking some sort of guilty verdict for George Zimmerman, that they believe that the family of Trayvon Martin deserved justice, and that's who they were here to support. So we're not done here. The emotions are still working their way through the crowd, and everyone's still trying to process what they heard. So we'll be back to you a little bit later. Don?
David Mattingly, thank you very much. David Mattingly outside the Seminole County Courthouse, obviously emotions running high. And as David was speaking there, you saw George Zimmerman left the courthouse with his family. He has been in this courthouse now through jury selections, through 13, 14 days of court, through jury selections for weeks. And now it has all come to this. He has been found not guilty, not guilty. Very exciting moment, obviously, for George Zimmerman, his family. The first time I've seen his mother smile since this all started, since we have seen his mother and found out who she was. I want to go now to CNN's Martin Savage, who is in the courthouse now. Martin, take us inside the courthouse.